Hey, everybody, and welcome to Mediocre Rumble Brothers. I'm your host, Udon, and it's just me and Corey here today because we're just going to have a little sit down talk about Silent Hill F. Silent Hill F came out, I think it was October of last year, because I had come up to visit you and you had recently bought the game, I think a day or two before I was actually there. But over the course of the week, you and me sat down and played it a couple hours every night until we were done. I think it was like on a Thursday or Friday, like it was a few days before I actually left. But we had a good time playing through it every night, and we just wanted to have a big talk about it because we were talking about all sorts of stuff dealing with the game as we were playing it. And obviously we went on hiatus for the podcast for a while because of various reasonings. But we finally found some time, so we're going to sit here and just have a good old talk about it. It's not going to be like a huge breakdown or anything, just kind of a casual conversation about pretty much anything and everything we can think of to say about the game, from story, gameplay, mechanics, anything that, meta-wise, that connecting the other Silent Hills and whatnot. But since you're more well acquainted with Silent Hill, Corey, like how do you feel like this stacks up to all the other Silent Hills you've played?
It's kind of funny because I recently played maybe like 2 hours of the very first Silent Hill like a week ago, but it feels like a Silent Hill game. Visually, it's a little different. I mean, the art direction is naturally, it shows the like fungus thing and all that. I mean, you can see what I'm doing because I'm playing the game right now. This is my second playthrough. Like, I like Japanese horror stuff, like The Ring and everything. So it was weird to me at first. I was excited just because I liked the art direction. I thought the visuals were really good, but I was like, okay, so is it going to go to Silent Hill somehow, or like, what's it going to do? And after getting to play it for a bit, it's like, well, it does feel like a Silent Hill game. It just doesn't look like a Silent Hill game.
I mean, I'm like really new to the Silent Hill franchise. Basically, I've only played and beaten Silent Hill 2 Remake when we did it for the podcast. So it's not like I'm not speaking from a place of authority and like what Silent Hill is. I've watched like breakdowns of the first 3 games and a couple of the like lesser known, like the remake the remake of the first one and whatnot. And like I'm fine with the idea of like, because everyone was like weird about this because it was like, oh, well, how can it be Japanese? Because Silent Hill is like a actual location,
like Pennsylvania or something.
It's like it's supposed to be like a real world location, at least in universe in America, basically, and like all the other games have taken like place around it. But even then, I don't think that's true, because isn't like Silent Hill 4? You're in that apartment complex, so it's like that's not in Silent Hill, at least not that I know of. I don't know if that, because I don't think that apartment building is in quote unquote Silent Hill. In fact, when I heard the breakdown of Silent Hill 4, it seemed almost like this. I mean, yeah, it was still based in America, but it seemed like really far removed from the other 3 that came before it,
And I think there's a really cool like lore video. I think it was Matt Durat or whatever, the Stay Yellow. Like, he was talking about how this game is comparative to Silent Hill 4, where it's just like it's so different than the other ones, but it has a following that either absolutely loves it or absolutely hates it. The other equivalent to something like that would be Final Fantasy VIII. It's like that's the oddball in the franchise for something. Did I just give it something? Oh, I might be doing like some weird little quest, I guess.
It's weird because I mean, I thought the same thing too. It's like, oh, I mean, I'm all for good old Japanese setting video game. I mean, it's almost kind of being overdone recently, but either way, I was like, oh, cool, Japanese Silent Hill, because I like, as much as I thought it was weird, I was also like on board with like, I guess Silent Hill being more of like a concept than like a physical location. But I mean, how and when like they can bend whatever Silent Hill lore they have to their will to make this like fit. I mean, that's up to them. Like, I wasn't really bothered by that. So I was like, okay, that's cool. We'll see how this goes. Because like Silent Hill, compared to most survival horrors, is like, I guess I would consider it like the one that focuses more on story. You're almost there for like the deeper meaning behind everything and whatnot, like Resident Evil has a little bit of a story, but you're mainly there for like, the combat and the environment and stuff like that. Whereas Silent Hill, you're like, ooh, like, why did what happened to James's wife? He's crazy and whatnot. It's like, what's going on with the cult and whatnot. It's like, it's you're more there for the narrative than you are for the gameplay. At least I guess that's how I feel people like about Silent Hill anyways.
I mean, when you're first introduced to Silent Hill 2, because that's the one that everybody always talks about, is like the like crown champion, I guess. I don't hear a lot about Silent Hill 3 as much, but 2, it was just like, this is scary. This town is crazy, and That's the same town from the first game. It's just the first one doesn't age as well because of, well, it's a PS1 game.
I think and like from the first to the second, I just felt like the second was a bit more subtle because I mean, in the first game, the first like 5 minutes, you're being attacked by fucking meat pterodactyls bursting into the diner. I'm just like, oh, okay.
I mean, psychological approach to it, it's just so different because I think we were just talking about this last night of like, because I just finished Resident Evil 9 and it was just like Resident Evil's approach to horror because it was the first one basically on PlayStation 1. And like Silent Hill is a similar type of game, but they approach horror in a much different way. Because like you could almost say Resident Evil is like a traditional monster horror, and this being a psychological horror, they kind of have their environmental storytelling like also displays that fully. I like right now I'm fighting these damn big steppy. Holy shit, that was a big steppy.
Mm-hmm.
I got a pipe in my hand. I don't have like a gun. I'm not Leon with a shotgun, like diving around, all that shit. I'm gonna fucking die though. Hold on.
You got to use your Dragon Ball instant transmission.
Yeah, I know. Oh, got it. Oh,
There you
got
go.
it. Run. How do I?
I'll get to the gameplay later since we're talking about narrative, but like I think one of the I'll preface it now. I think the actual gameplay of this game is like it's it's simultaneously like its high point and its low point. Maybe no, just a low point because I think the thing that Silent Hill F does the best is the environments are really good, the atmosphere is really good, like the sound design is phenomenal. I love the music and the sound design in this game. I thought the puzzles were fun. Combat itself, kind of whatever on, and the narrative, I'm also kind of whatever on. But like, I'll just stick to narrative now since that's what we're talking about. It's like after we beat this game, we like I had already the night before I knew we were gonna beat it. I had looked up like, all right, someone needs to explain what the hell just happened in this entire game because I have no idea. Well, I had some guesses, but it's like I need someone who knows more about Silent Hill that could possibly see what the deeper meaning to all this is than I do. And so like literally 10 minutes after we beat it, I threw on a YouTube video of a guy talking about explaining the Silent Hill F story. And I don't know. Again, the only thing I have to compare it to, at least intimately for me, is Silent Hill 2, right? Silent Hill 2 has like a lot of like you can look into the story elements of it deeper, like what do all the monsters, James's monsters, mean to him psychologically, like why do they take this form? But like any normie can keep up with the overarching narrative of like James got a letter from his dead wife. He wants to figure out why he's a little bit crazy, and then he goes from X to A to B to C, and then at the end of the game, you find out, oh, it's him dealing with his grief because he murdered his wife and because he was this, that, and the other thing. I'm not going to go through the entire Silent Hill story, but it was you could follow it, and if you wanted to dig deeper into the meaning of both his story and all the other like character stories in that game, you could, but it wasn't really necessary. Whereas at the end of this game, I was just confused. I was like, I have no idea what's going on. I could guess, but it's like I'm not confident in any of my answers. And when we learned that like this game has, I think upwards of like 5 or 6 endings, and you have to play through the game again and again and again to do it, kind of like I don't know, killed my enjoyment of it because to me, you have to be really careful if you're going to ask that much of time from your player to play through your game over and over and over again. You had better make sure that gameplay is really fun. And I just don't think the gameplay of this game is to like carry it through like 5 playthroughs, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I felt the same way because usually I don't like pick up and play through a game multiple times. So when you find out that there is 5 endings and you have to run through everything and do certain things, like I can't pick up or I can't use any of the medicine.
Can't use the most common healing item available to you, basically.
Yeah.
And for anyone who doesn't know, when I say multiple endings, I'm not like talking about it's Silent Hill 2 multiple endings where it's like these are all different endings James could get to. I don't know if there's necessarily a canon ending. I guess you could say whatever the best ending people consider for Silent Hill 2 is the canon ending. But this is kind of like how Nier Automata works, and that like every playthrough of the game kind of like unlocks more of the story until you finally like have the full story. But what also kind of stinks about it though is that there's like near Automata, every playthrough is like drastically different because you like play as different characters. Like the only thing that really changes about each playthrough is like a couple notes change, but largely it's like the last hour of the game is what drastically changes, like what boss fight you're fighting and like the story elements that happen in the last few cutscenes of the game. Otherwise, the game is like largely the same, which I think is part of the issue of why I wouldn't want to play through it multiple times, because it's just like, yeah, you could speed through it, especially once you've done it twice and when you know what you're supposed to do and whatnot. But I don't know, it's like I don't find it enjoyable enough to do that, you know?
I mean, I know the game is short and you can get through it fast enough to kind of see them, but because of the type of game it is, I think that's the part that hurts, because it's like, oh, it's a horror game. And then when all of the scary parts, I guess, because when you first play it, like even with when you're playing like Resident Evil or any horror game, it's kind of like the moment is what makes the game really good. And then now that you know it's coming, it doesn't hit the same. And so when I have to run through the whole game again, and I know there's like other items and stuff like that oh god, I know there's other items that, oh, it doesn't permanently die. Okay, that's great news.
No, you see, that's what I mean. It's been a while, but that's the point of this boss fight, is that you have to like crank that while dealing with him, basically.
Well, let me go ahead.
Crank that on the floor. Crank that.
Oh god. Hold on, let me get my heel in, and then I'll turn around and beat your ass. But like, yeah, the like, I'm just doing this because I wanted to kind of get a fresh experience on it, and like I am enjoying playing through it, so that's nice.
I mean, it's not a bad game. I'm not saying like it's like the worst thing ever, but you've also put it down for what is like we're almost
For a long time.
Yeah, it's like you haven't touched it for probably like 4 or 5 months at this point, so it's like you're not jumping into it immediately.
And forgive my fucking up, considering that I just finished playing Resident Evil and all the buttons are different, so I'm trying to remember what all my shortcuts are for doing anything. It's like, oh god, the pickup button in Resident Evil is X, and but like the attacks, oh, it's fucking sweet dodge, butter. But that's the thing, right? Like this game is fun to play, but I think that's what we were gonna get at here shortly. But when you're talking about doing like 5 separate endings, it's like, couldn't you have just given me one of those, pending on how I played it one time? But I have to beat it the first time to even begin to get the other endings.
Crank the well, crank the well, crank the well, crank the well, crank the well.
Shit, turn around, get over here. You get the standard ending, and then you get the chance to play the game again a couple times to get either the true good ending or the true bad ending. And that's kind of like, well, what if I absolutely crush it on like my first playthrough, and somebody else who saves too much, uses too many heals, or blah blah blah, gets hit all the time, and I did a hitless run, but we get the same ending, and then you're going to reward me later for playing a specific way, but I've already experienced this game the first time. I think about Dead Space, because I played Dead Space on the hardest difficulty with the one gun challenge immediately, and so my entire experience with that game was crazy. And then when I played it on easy mode after to run through it again, I got to use all the items that I didn't get to use. And I was like, man, this game is crazy easy. But when you play it with just one gun on the hardest difficulty, it really feels like a survival horror game. And it was really kind of like playing it with all the guns did give it a different feeling. But this game doesn't really change on your second playthrough with how you handle the situations. It's all the same.
And it's like, this is super personal for me, I guess. It's like, I just found the story in and of itself like incredibly uninteresting. I don't know what it was about it, because I mean, long story short, I'm not going to go into a lot of details, but the overarching story is that, number one, the game may or may not be entirely fictional, in the sense that like it takes place inside the main character Himiko, that's her name, and Himiko's head, because it's like her dealing with an arranged marriage she has between this rich boy who's apparently been possessed by a fox spirit and running off with her, essentially, for all intents and purposes, like her childhood crush, I guess, her childhood friend. I don't know. But it's like this internal conflict of her dealing with that, and like women's role in Japanese society. Because I think this was in what, the 60s or the 90s?
The 60s, I can't remember. Japan or 60s. Something like that.
So like women were largely treated as like property and stuff. You stay in the home, do all the housework, yada, yada. Not a lot of respect for
In
women.
the opening of the game was kind of referring to the fact that she's being offered up specifically to pay her dad's debts.
And the
So
thing is, though, is that like to piece even most of that together, you have to play through the game like 3 or 4 times. And like, I'm fine with weird methods of storytelling, especially because this is essentially taking advantage of the fact that it is a video game. But I know people have to get through a big hurdle to read fucking what was it, the house of what was the House of Leaves or whatever, that crazy ass book where it's like solving like a, I don't know, a puzzle box but in book form. Anyways, it's a really weird method of telling a story. And again, it's not even like objective negative. I just didn't find the story all that interesting. I didn't find Himiko interesting. I don't find the side characters interesting. And it's not like I'm lauding, like, I don't know, James Sunderland or Eddie from Silent Hill 2, but I find them ever so slightly more interesting than her dealing with all these people. Because, I mean, some of the stuff that I didn't like, the fact that all of her friends are kind of assholes except for the boy, I guess kind of gets alleviated later because, again, later playthroughs, you get more notes that weren't there before that actually shows that they know that they're kind of treating her like crap for like no reason. And it's like, well, that's nice, but I had to play through the game 4 times to get that.
well, something that kind of sucks because it's like in all the past Silent Hill games, it's like the characters that you meet are supposed to be, or well, they're not supposed to be. Obviously, everything is intentional, but they are usually engaging in some way that is just unsettling, and they kind of view Silent Hill in a different way than you do. Like the one chick who, in the second one, who was like sexually abused or whatever, she talks about like, oh, you see them as, she sees everything as on fire, whereas
Yeah,
James
she
sees
thinks
it
things on
differently.
fire. James sees all the monsters in Pyramid Head. Eddie doesn't know what Pyramid Head is, and then the girl, I don't know, I don't forget her name, but she doesn't see anything because she's too innocent to have any demons, quote unquote. So
And this group of friends is all in the same town, and they just see their own hometown is covered in this fog and this weird fungus. Though
well, I don't think it's fungus, right? It's flowers. Like those
town
flowers
is
have like a
covered in
name.
this fog and this weird fungus. Though, let me turn this chocolate into some points here. Um, the first girl, one of the two girls, because there's only 4 characters that you ever interact with outside of like the Fox Prince. She only exists to die immediately when she is introduced to you, and
You
then
had no
you get
chance to get to know her at all.
you get some backstory, and then you fight her as a priest. Now, I did get to see something cool that I hadn't seen before, and it was right through here. I don't think I came up this way, but if you stand in front of this shrine, you get a demonstration of her. Like you see the boss's silhouette through the light of the door doing like its prayer moves because that's her family shrine. And so it's kind of a nice little tease of like what the boss you're going to fight is. So I thought that was cool because I hadn't seen it before, but maybe it's like, maybe it wasn't even there in the first playthrough, or maybe I just didn't find it when I was first playing through because you don't have to go that way. But yeah, she dies like immediately in the very first like scene when you get all of the friends together, because literally the game starts with her going like, Hinako runs out of the house because she doesn't want to listen to her parents fighting about her getting offered up, and then she's going to meet this dude to pick up something, and then she comes across the pigtailed girl, and then she dies when the smoke shows up, and then everybody runs off. And it's just kind of like, okay.
I was gonna bring that up because like when I said that Silent Hill 1 starts at like a mile a minute, like instantly. This game takes after that in the sense that we had like a quiet moment for like the opening like minute or two, but then it's just like, and now there's demons. Have fun.
Now everything sucks.
And I'm just like, again, it's not like do everything the way Silent Hill 2 does it again. I'm not a Silent Hill connoisseur. I'm just a fan of the slow burn. It takes us like almost 30 minutes, I think, to get to even our first enemy in Silent Hill 2. And you just really have to take time to like soak in as like you slowly transition from the real world to Silent Hill world. Again, I'm not saying they have to do this verbatim in every Silent, you follow these rules. This is how you make a Silent Hill game. But again, it's just like we had no time to get to know that character. We had no time to like soak anything in, and we just have to like interpret her relationship and her status with just because of all these like scraps of notes and journal entries and stuff like
It's
that.
weird
Again,
too
it's
because you go into like your first trip to like the hell world or whatever, like the demon mode of Silent Hill, is because you went back to find her body. Hell world or whatever, like the demon mode of Silent Hill, is because you went back to find her body after the events in which she gets like absolutely taken over by the fungus, and then you free her and you put her in. Okay, so the only like interactions I have is you like her dying and then you like being sad about finding her body, and it's like I still don't know who this character is, and then I don't really know her either when I'm going to fight her on this fucking little
Oh,
ball.
see, this is one of my favorite puzzles in the game right here, is this like scarecrow field you have to do. Like, I was going to bring this up later, but I'm actually kind of glad you're here. Like, this is one of the more really fun puzzles, I thought, where we had to like pick like the correct scarecrow based on the puzzle, essentially. Like, I thought this game had really fun puzzles. Also, when basically I think it was this point from here we transitioned to the school, which, I mean, I don't know what it is about the Japanese and their haunted schools, but it's like one of the best things they do, because if it's creepy every time, because I think it's like my favorite part of the game. Because like based on the clue here, you're supposed to like pick like, I guess the group of like, what if they said something freak, so I guess you're supposed to find like the scarecrow that's being made fun of, essentially the one that stands out from the rest, and then you have to kill that scarecrow, and then you'll be allowed to move on. Because if you don't, you have to kill you still have to kill the scarecrow and potentially lose health and resources, but you have to keep trying until you hit and kill the correct one, and you have to do this like 3 or 4 times, I think, with different like prompts, essentially.
This is the only one with a, well, no, he's got a weapon, but they're all facing him and he's facing away.
You have to find the point in him to like stab a doodad into, I think.
Oh, you fucking dick.
But like, I guess we can transition talking about a little bit about the combat and stuff, because it's like, again, Silent Hill 2, combat's really simple. It's enjoyable, but it's really simple. Like, James can dodge. James has a melee weapon, and he has a couple different kinds of guns that you can use. That's it. That's the entirety of the combat system. You have some healing items. And they kind of cranked that up to 11 in this game, because like, I don't understand what it is with game developers and like why they have a hard on for weapon durability, but I'm getting really sick of seeing it. Like, just give me a weapon that doesn't break, that I can just use the entire game. Not overpowered, mind you. It's just like, why add on to this like caveat? Because it's like, I guess it adds a bit resource management, I suppose, because obviously their weapons are transitioned from like small and fast to heavy and large and slow. But I mean, if there's anything I've learned from playing this game, is like, just stack the heavy and slow items, dodge once, wind up a big swing, and that's basically how you win. Go read the scarecrow again.
Why do you always have to be different than everybody else? Everyone's got their arms out, and this one doesn't.
You can try that then.
If I was probably paying attention, it's probably that all of them are dudes, and this is the only chick. So maybe that's the case too, but I don't know. Let me see. Examine. Now go ahead and scrap. Whammo. Get beat up.
But the thing is that like, later on though, is especially in the frickin' finale, man, like, holy crap, that you have to fight a war as like this one chick with a baseball bat against, like, they throw just waves after waves of huge enemies at you, and I'm just like, am I playing Dark Souls or am I playing Silent Hill? Yeah, like, really at the end of the game, they just started like throwing combat encounters at you. Like, it wasn't even, and again, Silent Hill does have this like kind of mechanic of like choosing to fight or not. Like, you could just leave some enemies alone, especially when you're like traversing a town or something. So like, I don't know, at the end of the game when you're just forced into like combat counter after combat encounter, it's just like, I don't know. Not to mention, like, when you first dodged in this game and you like did like the Dragon Ball Z instant transmission like 8 feet away from, so like, God, yeah, that, holy crap, that is a dodge. It just looks fucking like really funny. I don't know. I just found it hilarious. But as you saw a couple times already in the footage, if you dodge, you know, yeah, there's like a perfect dodge function where you get like a slow-mo and stuff like that. But then there's a whole other mechanic with like that little flower bar above your health bar there that like you can use to slow down time. It's like a focus mechanic, but we like hardly ever used that.
We didn't engage with it ever. And then when you're in hell mode, you have like a limited of that. Well, like your weapon durability doesn't exist, so you don't really need it. You just kind of keep attacking stuff. You only have weapon durability when you're here. the combat is so fun that it kind of defeats the purpose of the horror, I guess.
I
Because it's
guess,
like
but it's like
I don't want
it's not the
to like you
same.
shouldn't encourage the combat if you're trying to like give the player fear. Like the weapon degradation and obviously is like you can attack them, but like you'll be left without defenses if you're too aggressive. But at the same time, it's like I never felt like I never felt like I was missing a weapon. I always had like an abundance of pipes or something. And what is he saying here? Why do you freak?
It's either one standing away. Isn't you supposed to find like a oh, I remember. Aren't you supposed to pull out a knife or something in them that's stuck in them, and that's gonna let you know like what try that one that's standing off again, but look around his body more, because I think you take out a knife or something. I think you might have like examined the wrong spot, which is why I was mad at you. That thing right there in his chest, you have to like zoom in on it. I think they all have that though, so it might not be him. It might be the other guy who's in the center of the circle, but they all have like that's like a note or something you get off of them. I mean, I like the enemies because these things are freaking creepy, man. I hate the
The enemy designs are super good. It's kind of interesting talking about this too now because like not only has the game been out, it didn't win. I don't even think it won audio at the Game Awards that happened.
No, I think it won sound design or something like that. It won something, I believe.
I mean, that's what I voted on it for. And this person has something there.
No, do the one in the center of the circle. I think they all have that, but do him again because I don't think you examined the one like a part of him that had a note on him. You just looked at his chest. I don't know. Maybe you did look at his thing.
Is that it right there?
Unless there's another one like really out of the way that we're not looking at. But yeah, the enemy designer's cool. Like obviously we saw like the giant meat creature earlier. I mean, obviously I think the creepiest ones are these like mannequin creatures. But because well, going back to like we didn't engage with that focus mechanic, but like we didn't need to. Like I never felt disadvantaged not using it. And the thing is, by the result of that, because there's a whole set of items that directly interact with the focus mechanic, either like restoring it or reinforcing it, yada yada. There's like 3 or 4 different kinds of like you basically have health items and then like focus items in this game, and then a couple like weapon repair items, right? But it's like because we didn't engage with it, if you pick them all, you'll get it right eventually.
That's what I'm thinking of. It's like I know that people talk about this puzzle being like super intuitive and stuff, but I'm just like, man, just fucking can I?
Okay, I'll just say, believe it. Number one, we're trying to do this while talking about the game, so we're like half braining this. But I swear to you, it was only like the third one of these we were having trouble with. This first one we had good.
I feel like it has to be the one that has her arms tied behind her back because she's the only one that has her arms tied behind her back.
Well, did you find the? Oh, it's in her neck. Why did 2 wake up that time?
Maybe I picked.
Anyways, point being, so there's a whole like set of items that like revolve around the focus mechanic, but we never had to worry about it. So because it was like, all right, well, we just throw away all the focus items or like reuse them into like these spirit points, which can be used to like give you permanent upgrades and stuff. Because we didn't do that, we were like, I've at least I felt we were always like overflowing on healing items, and we always had like weapon repair kits. Like we never felt pressured to like not necessarily abuse our resources, but it wasn't like, oh shit, we're out of heals, we really got to play it safe, you know. We always had heals on hand all the time. And obviously that does change because to get other endings you have to throw away the red pills, which is like your most readily, you know, most common healing item. But it just kind of ruins kind of this more of the, you know, resource management stuff. I mean, you can always ruin it just by being good at the game, I suppose, but
I already picked that one.
I mean, I don't know. I guess I just liked Silent Hill 2's combat better just for the simplicity of it.
And this game is all melee. All melee weapons.
Yeah.
And it's weird because it gets extra fun when you're in the hell mode, because when you get like the werewolf arm and the spear and stuff, it's just like, oh, it totally doesn't feel like the same game. You're just kind of beating ass, and the boss fights are crazy.
Oh, I just had an idea. What if you're not trying to find the person who's different, or like the person who's saying that? So maybe it's that girl over there that's pointing to the person who's walking away.
This one?
Did you already try her? Maybe her. Well, her or the other one. I don't know. Like maybe that's what it is.
Oh, well, now I get
There
it.
you go. See, big brain.
I'm just gonna wake up anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I guess yeah, it just stabs you anyways. It's like I like the game. I do. I don't think it's bad. It's just I would readily replay Silent Hill 2 than I would play this again.
It's interesting because I think when I was initially like talking about this game, I was saying that like they could have not called it Silent Hill and they could have called it anything else and it probably still would have been received the same, like because it's not a bad game. It just didn't feel like Silent Hill, though. You know, it kind of is more familiar to me as like Fatal Frame if you gave her a camera, it because of the Japanese setting. But you know, honestly, it it's like getting to run around in the town and stuff. The level design is very Silent Hill, even if the setting is visually different. And then they're gonna, you know, they kind of open this up because the next Silent Hill game that's coming out, I think, seems like it takes place in a town like Boston almost, or some sort of port town, in like modern day. So that's kind of very interesting.
Well, I mean, like I said, I'm fine with like them now taking this like Silent Hill as a concept rather than like a physical location because it, you know, obviously it opens them up to be able to do other things instead of just always like, huh, God, here comes this, you know, the 16th batch of a random sucker into Silent Hill and here comes the cult again and yada yada. So I mean, I'm fine with that. As far as like them calling it, I mean, I'm in the camp of like, yes, if you know, in a perfect world, I probably would have just called this its own game that was like heavily inspired by Silent Hill instead of it being Silent Hill in name. But I mean, if you're Konami and you're going to make a psychological horror, you might as well slap Silent Hill on that. Nice first try. You might as well slap Silent Hill on that because it will sell better. Like I think that's just a fact.
Yeah, and it's been so long since like I mean I'm not going to count like Silent Hill 2 remake, but it's been so long for like Konami to start picking up their old properties to kind of just like throw a random horror game out there and then hoping that the money they spent on that is going to, you know, pull in a bunch of people because it's a new IP. And when you spend a lot of money on something, you don't really want to take that many chances. So even if they're like, we're just going to put the name on it and then slap the F on the end of it. So it kind of is like, you know, people are buying it because of the name instead of like just a Japanese horror game. Cause they, you know, might have thought that it wouldn't be as appealing when you have this like Japanese schoolgirl in a horror setting. But I mean, the Fatal Frame franchise from Konami as well is exactly, I think, that in general, and it seems to do okay. There's like,
did they make they make Fatal Frame?
I believe, I think Fatal Frame is Konami, but yeah, I'm guessing. But I mean, it's a Japanese setting with like female leads. Oh, Koei Tecmo. Yeah,
it's Koei Tecmo. I was about to say, I'm like, that would be really weird if like, Konami owned both.
But I played through not Silent Hill, Fatal Frame 3, and that one really is close. And there's another game, Siren, that's a Japanese horror that's really close to this kind of feel too. And it's I didn't even read the thing. I just clicked on it. Maybe I need I'm going to need the puzzle.
Yeah. Everyone else read it.
So I didn't even have anything in it. All right, here we go. What is it again? I'll be your friend, otherwise you'll be so miserable alone.
I guess take it as you're trying to find the person who's saying that. Like this game does have good scares in it, especially in the for whatever reason they gave it the A+ when it came to the school.
Yeah, the
setting.
school is the apartment of this game.
Yeah, well they do this thing with these mannequins where it's like they love to move them when the camera's not on them, so it has that, you know, weeping angels effect on you, and they're not even always attacking you. Just sometimes when you activate something, they'll shift and it creeps you out. I specifically remember, I think we had to go inside like a outdoor shed in the yard area, and like when you do that, one of the mannequins appears by the window that wasn't there when you went in, and when you go back out, it's gone. Like that scared the crap out of me. I know it sounds like a cheap jump scare, but I don't know. It's like stuff in there specifically to just spook you that isn't always going to, you know, immediately follow up with like, you know, stabby stab. it does kind of put you on edge because it means not everything is going to attack you, but you also that by that same point you don't know what's going to attack you at the same time. The game has good atmosphere. I was spooked by it. The boss fights were all right, and admittedly, we didn't see some of the bigger boss fights because again, they're locked behind. Every like replay of the game has like a different big boss at the end, so that's unfortunate. Because I mean, like I feel like the only you just stab her. Okay, you have a okay, it's like a broken bat. I'm like, you just stab her with a baseball bat. That's kind of a neat attention to detail. Like it makes more sense for her to stab it because the tip of it's like broken and jagged now, so she stabbed him with it. That's interesting.
I'll be your friend, otherwise you'll be miserable alone. I don't know if it's referring to the person saying "I'll be your friend." Could be this one because she's the only one standing with somebody. But I don't know how to tell if it's. Nope. Damn it. Get beat up. Oh, don't do that.
I mean, I did enjoy all the memes of Himiko like going absolutely fucking ape shit on everything because she really does in this game.
Yeah. I will another thing too, like for this, I changed it to English audio. It's not good. I don't like it as much. It's weird because and I don't even think it's weird because I played through the game the first time in Japanese audio. I think it's weird because to me, the three girls, yeah, Himiko naturally has the better performance, but the other two girls, like they kind of all sound like the same voice actor, in a weird way to me. But it also has that strange like dubbing of if you watch, like a foreign film where they're just doing like English over.
Doesn't like quite match when they're talking.
And it's just probably because of the acting of it too. Like the voice doesn't convey the emotion that the character is displaying on screen. And it's really tough because I feel like Himiko doesn't really like emote heavily throughout the game. Like there's some shit going on and she's usually just like, just straight facing it.
She's almost stoic. Yeah. It's weird. And it's like, it's not the same thing as James, where James is kind of like dead inside, essentially. So he kind of like, it just kind of is like blasé about everything. I'd imagine her, she's just a high school girl. I mean, yeah, she's clearly been through some shit. I mean, this is also assuming this is all real and not just fictional in her mind. Like this is all a metaphor for her, arguing with herself essentially. But yeah, it's a bit weird. There could have been better acting because I mean, we watched that behind the scenes for Resident Evil yesterday. I wonder if like they did mocap for this, but because like the mocap is like Japanese, like they did it in Japan, it's like not as good,
Yeah.
Like the English dubbers just had to deal with like the acting performances that they put on with the mocap of the Japanese actors.
I'm just going to go around and pick them.
That's assuming this game is mocapped. I have no idea if it is or not.
I feel like it doesn't have to be, but like knowing that they the team that remade Silent Hill. God, you're gonna calm the hell down for a second so I could stab you. That is an actual enemy. That one wasn't there.
Yeah, but see that's the creepiness, right? You looked up and you're like, he wasn't there before. Might be her. Try her.
Thanks for that. Oh yeah, see that chick in the back is getting closer to me. Stop it. I'm running out of heals, lady.
Honestly, at this point, if I were you, I'd just take the death to get all my heals back and the weapon durability. Yeah, see, the Weeping Angel effect, man, that shit's creepy.
Well, let me just go to my equipment. I'm sure I have slowly restores health. Okay. So if I do this, and I do this, I know this isn't good, but give me a second because I'm just brute forcing the stupid puzzle. God damn it.
I was going to say, I think he's going to stab you as soon as you look away from it.
I get it. You're upset. I go back to being dead. The game was like, I have to move that character because we have to put the other one back. So I'm just going to make it attack you. All right.
Yeah.
What?
Nope.
Which one haven't I picked yet?
All the ones on the other side.
Oh, my stupid knife broke and now I have no weapons.
That's why I said if I were you, I'd probably just take the death at this point. I think you picked that one already.
Hold on.
If you run into the fog, they might despawn.
I think I picked that one already too, but we'll see. Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to solve this puzzle by brute forcing it, and that's really stupid. But I'll figure this out. Just give me a second.
I just take the death, man.
Come on.
Sometimes it's worth taking the death. Take the L.
Okay, you're active. They're active.
You're adding more problems.
Yeah, got it. First try. Meanwhile, they're all like freaking out.
Yeah, stabbing you.
Just point. Jeez. Okay, game. Come on. It's just like this way.
All right. See y'all later.
All right. I can't even fight you guys anyways because Himiko can't punch anything. But I don't think James can punch anything either. He's just kind of like, oh no.
I don't know. The way she breaks some of this stuff, she can build a sledgehammer. I feel like she can just like stick her fucking fist through their chest and take out their beating puppet heart.
I'm trying to figure out where the wind's blowing because that's telling me, okay, this way.
This isn't Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah. Find a fox. It's like, oh.
Yeah. I mean, they make combat way more like enjoyable in the other world because your weapons don't frickin' break. You get like the naginata, the little like big ass spear before you get like the wolf arm.
Another one. How many of these do I got to do? I thought it was 3. Isn't it a rule of 3? Tell me truly, you two aren't anything more than friends, right? Well, I know these are all referencing all of the stupid things especially the one chick who pushes Himiko down the stairs. It's like
one of the things I was watching says that we technically don't see her being pushed; it's implied. So it is it's possible to like interpret that moment as Himiko being paranoid and tripping, and she didn't actually get put. I mean, the other girl's crazy, obviously, but it's like. That is a possibility.
I'm gonna.
Did you even try?
Yeah, it's like hold on. Maybe it's this one because you're the only one that's looking away. I'm gonna do it again. Nope. All right, you guys can go to hell, and I'm gonna wake that one up now. Hold on a second. I'll let these guys do their own thing. Scoot-de-loo, scoot-de-loo. All right. I've always been watching you even when you're like not looking. So I feel like it's this one. But if it's not, it doesn't matter. Nope. Oh, I couldn't. Well, she woke up. Let's go with this one here. Where's your stupid thing at? Hold on. I can't even see it.
They're being very polite.
Yeah. It's all right. It's all right. I know it's none of you guys at least. So, we're ruling out the wrong answers here. This is problem solving 101. We're creating a problem. Oh, yeah. There we go. First try. Cutscene.
Wow.
Can you please? Jeez.
Oh, my God.
I don't even know what direction she's pointing. I can't see anything.
No offense. That's your fault.
Well, yeah. Okay. Oh.
You've created a massive problem.
All right. Cool. I got a rat king of freaking mannequins. Let's go.
We already said it, but I'll say it again. I do like the enemy design in this game.
Yeah. I'll take one of these little candies that I found in the woods. You're a bad guy. You guys are all bad guys. Wait, where's the wind blowing? Oh, no.
Trust me. This went a lot better when we were playing through it together.
Yeah. It's funny because like I was totally brute forcing to... Is there another one?
I mean, I said my grievances about like the story, right? So, I mean, how do you feel about the story?
I feel like the story was like super simple, I guess. Like... It's funny because I like the story when it comes to the true ending type stuff. Because when the game ended, it was just kind of like, what happened? And then everybody at the wedding got stabbed. It's like, that sounds like a.
Then everyone died.
Yeah, it sounds kind of terrible. Overall, like it kind of would have been neat to have choices for some stuff because when you're going through the ritual of like cutting your eye out and all this other crazy shit. It's, she's just like, okay. And I guess, that's part of it, right? It's like, I don't get a say in this because like, it's the marriage, like part of what they're kind of conveying here is she's being forced to marry. So the player wouldn't get a choice in the matter. Oh shit. But I thought it was good. Like overall, as the game kind of marinated and then I turned it back on to play it today and kind of run through this. It's like, oh yeah, I really like playing this game, but I wouldn't say it's like the best because I didn't really find the game scary at all. There, like, I don't think I thought Silent Hill was that scary either, but the imagery in Silent Hill is, more terrifying. Where this game is more cool, except for these things are creepy. But the monster designs and stuff, the aesthetics of this game are just interesting to me, and it's not necessarily like jump scary terrifying stuff, especially later when you get to like start beating the shit out of things and you have like the ability to you know um I think you get like combat abilities or something like that, and it just kind of doesn't really feel any different. I don't have a means to fight you stupids, and I need to figure out what the damn puzzle was again because I don't remember what they said.
It says you, yes, you. So I'm assuming it's saying which one looks most
Oh.
like Himiko.
Well, definitely this one.
Yeah, because I guess to me it's like I have thought about Silent Hill 2's story multiple times, whereas like this game I haven't thought about the story hardly at all. Hey, there you go. I don't know what it is about it because it's like it's not like I'm belittling the story, right? Like the story about her coming to terms with her marriage and her arranged marriage and what she wants to do and like her choice and all that. Like it's a good premise. Like there's nothing like inherently wrong with it or anything, but it's like I've just had a hard time placing my finger on why I don't find it that interesting. Maybe it's because it is at the core like kind of a cut and dry story in a sense where it's like there's not like a lot of I don't know. I start to say that, but then I start thinking whether or not that's actually fair to the game or not, because it's like
Yeah, it's a straightforward storyline. There isn't a lot of like thinking deeper into it. It's more of like all the pieces you need are kind of laid out before you, and there isn't like a lot of what does this character represent? It's just that's her best friend, and they have this awkward relationship because he likes her, but he knows that she has to get married. And then this girl is jealous of that because she likes him, and it's a weird love triangle thing. It's and then the other girl doesn't matter because she's dead. So
yeah, we hardly ever got to know her, and the only time we get to know her, she's just like, "You left me, you left me, you left me." I'm like, "Wow, I hate you."
yeah, she's like, you loaned me 500 yen. I rode my bike here, and then I died. And you're like,
I guess it's more like when you're going through James's story, and by the end, you probably even come to the conclusion that he killed his wife, even before you actually get to the reveal, right? But it's like, there's layers to it, I guess, because it's like, he's a bad person. Obviously, he murdered his wife. Like, just bottom line, he's a bad person. But you could see why he was going nuts because she was losing her mind because she didn't want to die. She had a critical illness, but at the same time, he wanted love that she couldn't give him because she was like it's just like this whole cycle of like horrible things.
It's inner turmoil on like full display between everything in that game and all the deeper meanings and stuff. And this one, it isn't like Hinako is not going through this story, and we come to find out, she's like an evil twin or something, or she's her sister the whole time, and the sister doesn't actually exist, and she was just manifesting this idea of what marriage was by pretending to have an older sister, and all these people are like, you don't have a sister, or like she died 10 years ago. It's just literally these are the characters, and the things that are happening to them, where James, we're playing as somebody who we don't know that he did what he did until we get to the end, and you're like, oh shit. And then there's also this Maria character that is a representation of what James is like, what he wanted her to be, and she looks like his wife, but she's dressed a little more provocative, she's a little bit more playful with her speech. She relies on James, and because of this he gets attached, and you see bad things happen to her, I think multiple times.
Yeah, Pyramid Head kills her like 2 or 3 times because that's another thing. It's like Pyramid Head becomes contextualized as like almost a good guy because he's like he's trying to get James to confront all this stuff, right? Like he doesn't kill James. His goal isn't to kill him. He's almost like being a teacher,
Well, in Pyramid Head is James. Like it's like James's manifestation of like you said, it's just like, you're going fucking nuts, bro. I'm gonna guide you through this hell world here by scaring you in the right direction. And here's the staircase scene. So this is the thing that I was talking about, where it's like after this moment, I
Now, so you
hated
watch
her
it.
for this, but it's like I don't know if she did it, but look at her face.
But watch it. Yeah, I know. I understand. We're supposed to take away the fact that she does it, but when you watch this thing, because we also learn that this doll is actually kind of like not on your side, because like when you watch this, there's nothing that explicitly shows her doing it. See, we don't actually see her push.
She could have slipped on that stuff on the
Obviously,
stairs.
it's implied. Yeah. Well, yeah, she could have just, when she's turning around, she just misplaced her foot and falls, right? I mean, I'm not taking that as Bible. I choose to believe that she pushed her because she's kind of a psycho. But yeah, I can see that interpretation. I think maybe that's it. It's like the more layers you peel back Silent Hill 2, the more interesting it becomes. And it's like the more layers you peel back of this, it's like the more simple it becomes, I guess. And I mean, maybe it's me, but it's like I really hate going through an entire thing just for the end. It's like, and it was all a dream. And, this is, not necessarily a dream, but, if we're going to take the interpretation that this is like her fighting herself as, deciding what she wants to do. But it's just like, oh, so like all this is bullshit then. It's like nothing has a lot of weight anymore. This is just like a metaphor for her inner monologue, essentially.
And isn't this the area for the...
Yeah, this is now you're in the other world, because as we learn, when you're in the other world here, before the end of the game, you're actually like two different Himikos. I think probably the most interesting cutscene is when these two meet, like both versions of her meet, and they're like talking to each other. And, like one's obviously wants to go with the pretty boy fox guy, and the other one wants to be free, essentially. Like, I get it. I'm having a hard time like putting into words like why. I just do not find it very compelling.
Maybe it's because it's not complex. And it's not saying that every story needs to be complex, but when you kind of like understand what's going on at the very beginning, that you're not really learning anything new. You're just finding out what you knew already. It's kind of like, oh yes, like you don't have to like circumvent my expectations completely, because it's like, don't pull a, left field just because you don't want me to call your story out. If this story relies on you to be simple, it's like, don't ruin it because you're trying to make it so that I didn't guess correctly, because sometimes the correct guess is because all the pieces are laid out well. It's like it's a well-structured story. It just doesn't require a lot of thinking behind it, I guess, that you're just kind of going through it's like you're like, I'm watching this horror movie and I already know how it's going to end, so doesn't make the horror movie less entertaining, I guess.
Maybe it is because it can't be like fully consumed and appreciated in its entirety with one playthrough. Because, you can play through Silent Hill 2 and regardless of what ending you get. Because I got the in water ending where James kills himself, but it's like, to me, I'm like, yeah, that's fair. Because if I just remembered that I killed my wife and I'm a horrible person and all the other shit that happened to me, like, yeah, screw it. Like, I can accept that as like a canon ending. I'm fine with it. It's like you have to.
I think I got the one where you leave with Maria.
Oh, geez. You got like the worst ending, I guess.
Yeah. I did play it again to see what, because I think there's like some sort of choice you make, because I did that one and then I did the other one where I think he leaves Silent Hill by himself in the car.
Mm-hmm. But it's like, I guess, I don't know. It's like, I feel satisfied after that. But then it's like, you didn't craft an interesting enough story for me to be so invested that I would now play through the game 3 more times to see the full picture. I think that is the crux of like my biggest issue with this game, is the multiple playthrough storytelling thing. And it's fine for people who want it. It's annoying because I don't want to do that.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm I have a lot more fun when I'm playing through this part of the game.
Well, yeah, because I mean, even combat here is easier because your weapons don't even break,
Yeah, like this area, it's I don't know, how do I say this correctly here? This part of the game and the other part of the game, which is the Silent Hill Fog Town, like you could have almost made them 2 separate games because the experiences are so different from each other. And I would have enjoyed playing 2 different games. It's like you could have just given me a creepy ass Japanese town with fog and monsters, and like I would enjoy it. But the
the part where I compare this to Fatal Frame is, in Fatal Frame 3, she goes to sleep and she wakes up in this type of world, like the one that I'm in right now, and you solve all your stuff and then you complete the puzzle or whatever, and she wakes back up in her apartment, maybe similar to Silent Hill The Room type stuff, but like that in itself is compartmentalized into its own game, where Hinako could have been like trapped in this world with this weird fox guy, and you'd still tell the same story by solving puzzles in this like scary world that is, I don't even need the other characters, honestly, because I don't really care about them. They only become relevant in the other story endings, especially with like the love triangle that you have, and the two like super cool Dark Souls-esque bosses that you get.
I was literally about to say that. I'm like, I'm maybe it's just me. I just hate every combat system becoming Dark Souls with the dodging and the parrying and whatnot. But it's like the bosses' designs were cool, but I didn't like how, I guess, action packed they were. I don't know how to describe it, but like Silent Hill. I mean, I'm sorry I keep referencing Silent Hill 2, but again, remember what I said at the beginning. This is literally the only other one I've played and I know. But it's like the bosses in that game are like really slow because the combat is much slower. So it's like, I don't know, it's heavier, it's slower. If anything, it's just more awkward. And I feel like it almost works to its advantage. Whereas like the bosses in this game are like really fast paced. Again, it feels like I'm playing Dark Souls,
This is kind of an interesting room.
And maybe that's good for some people, but I just
this room here, that this prop is, it comes into play later in the game when they bring this mask out to you to attach it to your face after they totally skin you. It's like, God.
Yeah. They don't shy away from that. They don't squirm away from. Yeah, it's like Silent Hill's grotesque imagery is on full display here. They definitely did not. They did not pull punches with this game. You see some.
I mean, I like that about this game, though. It's just kind of like you think they're going to turn the camera away, and then you're just like, oh my God! Like the whole time you're watching it, and that's like that's ultimately the best part. I am going to be running in circles for 10,000 years. I got to do this. The classic Silent Hill. Open your map. Open your map. Open your map.
Yeah.
I spend more time, or I probably spend just as much time in my map in Silent Hill 2 as I do in the town. It's just like,
right. Well, it's funny because obviously, that's a that's a stat that it gets tracked, and sometimes that it plays into your endings in some of the games. This is a criticism of Silent Hill as a whole, but I don't like the choices, not choices. Like the choices, like there were some choices you made in Silent Hill 2 that I just never registered as being like a factor in your ending sort of thing. Like I think one was like when you choose like the ripe apple over like a shriveled apple for some puzzle in like the last location. And I'm like, I just used the ripe apple because that's just the one I found. I didn't even know there was another option.
Well, yeah, I mean, in this one, it's literally, and it's kind of unfortunate because you can't get a different ending the first time you play it, like I said, but you're
the
main healing item that they introduced, because it's a part of the story of substance abuse, of her utilizing these drugs to kind of numb the pain,
and the fact that it ties into her childhood friend and him like purposefully poisoning her essentially, which as far as I understand it from people who like this game, like that's the only like solid connection to the other Silent Hills there are, because I guess he makes it with like this drug that the cult used in Silent Hill. Yeah.
The flower. Yeah, there's a flower that blooms next to a pool of water or something like that. And then they're like, that's the tie-in. And it's like, that's so contextually specific. Like how am I supposed to know that?
I just thought it was the fog. And we learn later that these messages that you think the doll is like on your side or something, but this is just like, weirdly enough, there's several interpretations of the story. One is that it's all in her mind. The other is that this is like an actual war between two freaking gods. And I'm just like, okay, I don't know where we're going now, but like that is like way out there.
I know something is trying to attack me right now. Oh, I do have a weapon in this world. I have the freaking ceremonial dagger. Get out of here. I forget, but I have to turn my light off. God, this game is so dark earlier when I was playing this to get through the beginning at least, so I can get some of this footage for now, which I'll probably cut in some of the other stuff, because like the intro of this game is so powerful. I really love it. The music is good. It's creepy. It sets the tone and everything. And then
I just think
like
it goes
you know, as you camera pans out showing the town. It's playing the creepy ass song, and you get to see the village, and then it's over all of a sudden.
It's Silent Hill time now.
Yeah, and then it's over and starts going at a million miles an hour. Also, I don't have this outfit on because she's the main character. This was I think a pre-order. Is there something?
Yeah, it was a pre-order. I forgot because her regular uniform is black.
Yeah, it was like a pre-order outfit.
You get I think what you're doing now. This this level ends or like is near the end when you get to the Naginata.
Yeah,
I think.
Okay.
Naginata, Nagikata, the fucking spear
This
thing.
is where I need to go. I got to go this way. Because I
think this at the end of this is when you fight the one friend who died's boss. I think.
Yeah, when she's a priestess.
Yeah. Again, cool freaking design. Not really a fan of how the fight actually plays out, but the monsters.
Like everything is so neat. Like that's the thing is they dialed everything in. Oh, there we go. There's.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh my god! Quick, grab the spear. Quick, use your Kamehameha wave.
Yeah, I was right. The Naginata. I was like not. Again, this is like I don't know. I like it, but I like it as like a one experience sort of thing. I would never go through the entire process of playing it 100 times to get other endings. And I don't know if that should be. I don't know if that even speaks to the game's quality. I just don't have the time or patience to do it. I don't like survival horror games like that. Like I might play through the first Resident Evil here again in like the next couple of years, maybe, because my first ending definitely was the non-canonical, probably one of the worst endings people could get, but I thought it was funny. But I'm just not.
The first ending in Resident Evil?
Well, yeah, because remember the ending I got, I killed Barry, I took his gun, then I shot the tyrant, and then Wesker died, and I didn't blow up the mansion, I just left.
I don't know what I did wrong, but I left and the tyrant didn't even fight me, and I was the only one that got on the helicopter. I was like, okay.
My point being is that like I really like that game, but I still wouldn't play it again immediately afterwards just to get another ending in the same way as that like, oh, cool, I beat this game and now I guess I'll get the full story in 20 years because I have to take a year or two break in between each playthrough because I'm not just going to sit here and slog through this again and again and again.
Yeah, and the thing is like I don't do that with any game except for Dark Souls.
And even Dark Souls is different because it's like, okay, well, I'm going to run through and like I'll use a different build this time, or I'll go a different path. Like you make the experience different, you know?
It's just, yeah, I like the thing with Dark Souls is it's designed around replayability. Whereas, like I said, with horror games, you know, playing this immediately after playing it, it doesn't hit the same because of all this. The scary stuff is not scary anymore. Like, oh, all the jump scares, I know what they are, unless they're randomly generated. But even still, it's not the case completely.
Well, I think this is like Resident Evil, right? Because I think like the randomness comes in form of the puzzles that don't always have the same solution.
Yeah, you could choose like for this one, I chose the difficulty to be like low because I've already beat it on the other one. So it's like I just kind of wanted to play it so that I can get some good.
No, don't admit that because that makes the puzzle you did with the scarecrows look silly.
Well, yeah. Well, I didn't do that puzzle to begin with. I think you did that puzzle when we were playing it together. And then
we were all working together.
Because yeah, you were doing that one. I did the one where you place stuff in the candles. It's like, here's my tied up dead animals. Can you put them in an order? It's like, what the hell is this? You want to do a big steppy? Get over here.
My favorite meme that we made from this game. Big step.
Yeah. Are you done? Are you done? Are you done?
I was creeped out when I learned these things were actually like flesh. I thought they were mannequins. They're like Frankenstein flesh monsters. I'm like, oh, that's significantly worse. There's a lot of lore in this particular section.
Well, the monsters, earlier we were talking about how like Silent Hill 2 has all this, deep thought behind all of their creatures and how they relate to James. These monsters are designed based off of the themes of this game, where it's like the pregnant monster, the gluttonous parent,
all the male creatures are like horrible, like disgusting monsters because that's what she views men as, and like the women, obviously she fears pregnancy, so the pregnant monster is gross, but then like all these mannequin ones, they're like ever so slightly suggestive because that's how she views women, I guess, as like they're
Yeah, it's femininity and like the the fear of all of that nonsense. It's like conformity or social conformity and things like that. So it's not that the game just randomly made cool monsters and put it in a Japanese horror. It's just it doesn't hit the same with like I guess the cultiness of like because we had 3 games that dealt with like a witch cult, and then whatever they did with Silent Hill the Room. I'm not even going to talk about Downpour. Homecoming I didn't mind, which that's like the black sheep of the whole franchise. I feel like a lot of people hate Homecoming, and I didn't hate that one completely. I thought it was neat. It still deals with like witch cults. This just feels so different, even though it talks about a cult of like a dragon's head fell in the mountains and poisoned the town and all this stuff, and this battle between this fox and this other thing. And it's just it doesn't feel like it's a part of like the same cult and the same thing that you've been experiencing through the franchise, but it doesn't have to either. But that's also why they didn't really need to even call it Silent Hill. They could have called it anything really, and I would have still bought it, because as soon as I saw the initial trailer where she's in the boat and wearing the crown, almost like a Midsummer-esque type of thing, I was just like, yeah, I'm fully on board. It's kind of when I saw the trailer for Expedition 33, I immediately wanted the game. I was like, this art direction and all this, that's everything I want. I'm all about this. I did not try to dodge that at all. Okay, I get it. You're doing really good. Let you back up for a second so I can eat some candy.
Oh, piece of candy.
Oh, God, come on. I don't even know how to make this stop. There's like no button prompt that says like to tap it. I'm just pressing the controller a ton just to see what happens. I get it. It hurts. Now to kill it.
Get over it.
There. Now she can die temporarily until I go somewhere else. I don't even know what the hell I'm doing right now.
No, I think now you have to go fight the boss. I think that's all that's left, because now you have the weapon.
God.
Just keep going. There was nothing to see here. Gee, I sure hope there aren't any demons behind me.
I know. Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm just trying to get to this cool boss fight so that I can cut that into the video. Can you excuse me? Doodaloot, doodaloot, doodaloot.
I will. I mean, it's like I'm interested enough, because I've been going on like a quest of playing basically all the Resident Evil games. Essentially, I don't have that same desire for Silent Hill, but at the same time, I am interested to see where the next one is going, I guess.
Bye, you guys, for a second. Oh, I have to go through that room. What is that? All right, you stupid bitch. Oh, there's 3 of them. Hold on a second. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to die. I'm going to survive. I'm going to thrive on this. Get the hell around the corner. Oh, shit.
That was not a good effect.
Oh, my God. Okay. How far back am I? I don't I guess.
Probably when you got the... Yeah, you're not that far back. You're fine.
It's just...
all
right. That's...
I mean, I'll be interested to see where the next Silent Hill is going. I mean, by the time it's out, I'll probably be living up there, so we can play through that one again.
Next year? Oh, come on.
Yeah, I don't think it's anytime soon, because all we got was that teaser trailer.
Yeah, I think it's next. Okay, come on. What the hell, guys? We can all just talk about this. I understand that I'm kiting all these enemies to me, and this is kind of my fault, but perfect dodge. Get the hell around the corner. I don't care what's going on. I just want to do this thing. I get it. Move through here. They won't follow you through the crack. Use this. Oh, I can't. Why not?
Because they're aggro to you, I think. I think you're fine now. Try it again. Yeah, there you go. Just took a second for them to de-aggro. I do like this mechanic of like sacrificing items. I mean, clearly you have some items that are specifically made to sacrifice to get stat increases. That was another thing too, is like we were able to just keep increasing our health and stamina, or health and something, I think, because we just completely ignored the focus bar because it just was useless. We just never had to do it.
Yeah. Now I can increase my... Oh, see, this is what I wanted to save for, because then I can equip more tokens so that... Because we didn't even do that once. And then it was like, oh, you can...
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I just felt like we didn't need to. I think, like I said, we were kind of we only started running out of healing items at the very end of the game because it was just constant combat for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's really like a what is it? Just an endurance run of like horse shit.
Maybe I don't think I've really emphasized that enough. I really fucking hate the climax of this game. Not narratively, but like the sheer amount of combat and like the little areas you have to put it in a game like this. I'm like, just make it stop. I hated it.
I will take this, and here we go.
Got a stone orb.
Yeah, I mean, like the game itself doesn't have that many locations either, because I mean, you kind of have this hell world here that is pretty samey, I guess, and you spend a decent amount of time in it, but the village is mostly just walking around through the town just to get to. You have the school, you have the what is it, an apartment building of some kind. Oh, am I stuck in here?
Yeah, because you have to deal with this new enemy type.
Oh, I'm not stuck. Oh, yeah.
Or you can just run.
Oh, I don't know, actually.
He just went back in.
I know. I feel like what happened was I got stunned. I like how the little character is doing the like hopscotch. Okay, let me just ignore you completely. I'm going to come over here and...
I think ultimately, if people are a fan of Silent Hill or survival horror games in general, it's not worth ignoring. Like, it's definitely worth playing. I just say take the good with the bad, I guess.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, this game is really fun to play through. And even if the story isn't like, hard to digest, it's still worth the experience of giving it a go. Because, I mean, there was a lot of other games that kind of came out, but this one was like on my radar. Even if it wasn't called Silent Hill, I still was like down to buy this. And, that's pretty good sign of, game design, I guess. Okay, I'm going to run around this corner and hopefully this is the correct way so I can go beat up my friend who owes me 500 yen. I don't think so. Dodge. This is exactly how I cleared the last area earlier. I was just like running to put the thing in the thing's mouth so I can open the door and get the hell out of here.
Yeah. Again, apologize for this, kind of subpar gameplay, but we're trying to talk and play at the same time.
All right, door's closed, and let's get it going.
I'm starting to wonder, do you actually fight her here? Because I thought it was outside on a bridge you fought her. Maybe
yeah, you fight her outside, so I think this is just the buffer room. Yeah, it's going to give me some items, and then I'm going to open that door and have to fight her.
You have about 10 minutes, so hurry it up.
First. What is this? Bandage. Are there red pills in this world? I don't even think there are. I think they're only in the.
You passed by. There were. You passed by one. You didn't pick it up though. Because again, this is your second playthrough, so you shouldn't be picking them up. Otherwise, you're going to immediately lock yourself out of the next ending and have to play through the game again.
The thing is, I picked one up, but I think you're not supposed to just use them because I accidentally picked one up.
Yeah, you can pick them up. Yeah, you can pick them up. You just can't.
Yeah, I accidentally picked it up, and then I was like, oh shit, I threw it out of my inventory. But yeah, here's the fight. There she is, just chilling on the bridge.
I mean, I don't care if there wasn't a whole lot of saying. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Japanese setting and architecture and stuff like that, so I'm fine with it. This looks like a Dark Souls arena.
Yeah, this looks so cool. This looks straight out of like Wukong or like Sekiro or something.
Yeah, and you're just some schoolgirl with a naginata. I think the only boss fight I really didn't see was when you fought the other friend, because I was actually unconscious when you're fighting her when she was like the molten core priest or whatever.
Oh yeah, that was the most the most Dark Souls bosses are the ones at the end of the other playthroughs, but she was definitely a Dark Souls boss, like slinging fire around and everything. It's like holy shit, in a small enclosed area. Her boss design is really cool, but this one's also really cool. Yeah,
this one's
like
creepy.
She doesn't have a face, or something like that.
Kunai with chain.
What is that, a keyhole?
But again, it's like, I don't know this character. She just died immediately, Like, I don't feel anything. To me, she's just a creepy monster.
Yeah, it's like, that's so freaking badass. Yeah, and I also put it in English because if you're playing it in Japanese and you're trying to fight her and read the subtitles, it doesn't really work that well. Because I don't know what she's saying. Whew. Ow.
Careful, remember, this is Dark Souls. You have a stamina meter.
I know, I'm trying to back up.
You need it to swing.
I get it. You have a big weapon. Ow.
Hey, this screen is very red.
Dodge this. Okay, I did. And then I dodged right back in front of you. I know. You're swinging your hammer around.
It's less about this game, but I'm just still not a fan of every combat system turning into Dark Souls. It gets on my nerves. I guess a different example is actually kind of like when you fight Eddie in Silent Hill 2 as a boss. Like, not only is he not like a giant monster, not saying that they couldn't have made him a monster, but it's like we had time to know him a little bit. I mean, obviously not intimately, you're not really supposed to, but we still knew him as an entity and knew where he was kind of like, we should probably be wary of that guy.
He eats ice cream with his hands.
This person's supposed to be this. Yeah, like she's supposed to be Hinako's friend, and all we know about her is that she dies immediately, and then whatever like notes you pick up otherwise, because it's like as a player, it doesn't mean a whole lot to me, you know?
Well, because she's already gone, so there's no like player redemption or something like that when you're reading through all this stuff later, and it's just kind of, well, who cares? She's dead. Like there's no like saving her. There's no choice that you make, because later on you have to drop them all into like lava or something like that, because they're all like, you know, in the hell mode and they're in some sort of puzzle, leaving them behind.
Well, yeah, because it's the metaphor of like, it's again, yeah, in the context of the it's all in her head metaphor. She's killing her friends in order to embrace her new married life, essentially.
Yeah, and so, you know, finding notes and finding out who they are or if they're terrible and stuff, and then interacting with them, that's kind of the better approach to me, because it's like, oh, I get to know about these people, and then you're like, well, now I want to kill them or something. You know, it's like they're a terrible person. I need to, you know, and now this boss fight is going to draw that conclusion. Where the hell did she fucking go? No, that's too far away.
Oh, it didn't do that much damage. Oh, it killed your sanity meter, though.
There we go. Yeah, it's like I know nothing about this character, so the conflict that I'm dealing with right here doesn't matter to me. Even if I found notes later, it's like, well, the character already had died. And then this guy shows up. He's like, hold on, I'm the main character.
Yeah, Fox Prince. Yeah.
It's nothing to fret over. She's just absolutely beating my ass. And all of this is like manipulation.
Yeah, because again, it's like this is the guy she's been like sold off to, and he's like, yeah, he's like supposed to be a Prince Charming. He's like enamored with her. Like he does want to care for her, but at the same time, it's like he's treating her like like a
it's the very thing that
I need to get rid of your friends.
You know, and the dynamic between her mom and dad, you know, it's like the dad is a raging alcoholic and he's in debt because he's addicted to gambling, and the mother caters to all of his things, even though it's bad. She doesn't correct him because it's like what he wants to do.
But then you also learn later in other playthroughs that she does stand up to him. He does feel bad for what he does. Again, you don't get any of that until you play the game multiple times, which I don't want to do. I think that's like the biggest, I keep coming back to that, but it's generally like the biggest thing that I have a problem with. Is I do not want to play the game multiple times in order to unlock the entire story in a game series that's main draw is the story, but I have to slog through the game, all this other, you know, senseless gameplay to get to that. I know it sounds silly, it's a video game, but it's like, it's fine for the first playthrough.
Yeah.
But I just don't want to do it again.
It's definitely worth the playthrough. It's probably the most middle of the road themed Silent Hill when it comes to Silent Hill, but on its own merit, it stands out as a really fun Japanese horror. And it has tight gameplay. It's not that long of a game. You can kind of get through it pretty quick. I think
we did it like what 17 hours.
And we were
hours,
diving around looking through stuff. I mean, we
didn't die a whole lot, I think. Like we did take some time doing some puzzles and finding out where to go, sure, but like we didn't take that much time with it. I think someone could probably do it in like 12 if they were really running through it.
I mean, yeah, you can sprint through if you're not looking for anything just to get through the game pretty damn quick. You could probably do it in 6 hours, honestly. If you already know the puzzle and you're not fighting things and like running. My first hour of gameplay to get to where I was when this started, I was just immediately beelining to where I needed to go. I didn't go down every nook and cranny. I didn't turn down any alleys. I just went the correct way,
I dodged every enemy that I could, even though the jump scares are supposed to like slow the player down by grabbing them and whatever. But it's just I can see the character. I dodge when they come out, and then I keep pushing, and then you get to the story. It's okay. So here's this, and then once the story lines up, I have to go to, and I'm already running there, and it's it goes by pretty quick.
Yeah. Well, I hate to bring this to an abrupt end, but we are running out of time here. So I will say, like, you like survival horror, it's worth looking up. I don't, if you've really grabbed you and you play through it multiple times, that's great. If not, just do what I did and everyone else did and just look up the rest of the endings after the fact. I'm glad if anyone really likes it a lot. I just can't be in love with it that much to want to play it more like that. I think it's interesting enough, but I just like Silent Hill 2 better overall as an experience. But I still think it's a decent game that's worth a look if you really like survival horror.
Yeah, I guess I'll end with saying, if you've never played Silent Hill and you play this one, you wouldn't really have any of the feelings that we're kind of conveying here. But if you're a fan of the franchise and you've played all of the previous ones, then you kind of understand the perspective in which we're approaching it. I'm not saying the game's bad. I like it. It's just different, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we were just gonna ramble about it because it's just like there's quite a bit to say about the game. It's mostly narrative for me, but yeah. Well, I hope. Well, thanks for joining us. It's just Udon and Corey here. We're just gonna having a sit down with Silent Hill. We might do this in the future for not necessarily games, but any kind of gaming topics. Trailers, Nintendo Directs, PlayStation Presents, whatever. Whatever. This section. This like segments are gonna be like. Just whenever we feel like if we have something interesting or felt like we need to say something about something that we have investment in. We just had a lot of fun playing through the game. I mean, we did not have fun. I liked playing through it, but we just had a lot to talk about. So we just wanted to have a chit chat about it and hope you guys enjoyed this little casual discussion. It's not very structured at all. Obviously, we're just kind of rambling back and forth, but we hope more casual content. This isn't going to be a regular thing. It's just whenever we want to do it. But just want to thank you guys for joining us, and hope you guys keep listening. Check out other episodes, and if you liked hanging out with us today, give us a subscribe on YouTube, and we will see you next time.
Catch you later, and wishlist Shogun stand.
Yeah, there you go. Plug right at the end.
Hey, this is Corey, and thanks for checking out Mediocre Rumble Brothers. If you liked the video, please drop a like, and if you didn't, that's fine too. If you'd like us to talk about any specific games, drop a comment below, or feel free to discuss your experience with the games that we've mentioned in the episode. You can also listen to our episodes prior to YouTube on our Spotify. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you again soon.